Today we are happy that we've been able to relaunch the KEFRI LAMU as a center of excellence in research in mangrove forests and estuarine ecosystem research and development. Mangroves are very important in this region. Lamu, of course, has the highest amount of mangroves, and KEFRI, when coming to Lamu, we were very deliberate because it has the largest amount. That means anything that is going to threaten mangroves, Lamu County will be the greatest loser in terms of the productivity and also the dependence of the people. We are aware that over 30,000 households in Lamu County itself rely on mangroves. Now, what are we here to do? KEFRI is here to undertake research on how to improve productivity of the mangrove species themselves. Well, what do I mean by productivity? It's because if you look at how the communities are using the mangroves at the moment, there's a lot of waste, there's a lot of loss. We're here to give that information with the communities that if you utilize your mangroves this way, you'll get more benefits. At the moment, we see that the main use of mangroves is by the communities. If we're not talking about the fisheries and all that, and the blue economy, it's just posts and poles and little to do with other uses. From KEFRI, we have technologies. We have undertaken research over time through our Karura Research Center to show that there are more products that can be gained from mangroves using the non-destructive methods. Like we have ways of making soaps, shampoos, and also repellents from mangroves. The other thing is, when it comes to restoration, as scientists, we know that there's no single species that exists on its own. So we are here to explore the best trees, mangrove species mix in terms of restoration, so that we don't end up with monocultures of mangroves with the time. Now, currently, and why this center is important to be relaunched with a focus on mangrove research. If you go through the coastal mangrove ecosystem, there is a threat on the mangroves which are dying. There is the dieback. There are also the hyperparasites and parasites that have already affected our mangroves. So we'd like to study this a little more to be able to understand why they are suddenly becoming vulnerable or susceptible to these uses. Number two, we are combining mangrove ecosystem with estuarine for first research, because we know that the estuarine is a very delicate ecosystem, and what happens there is likely to affect the mangrove ecosystem in general. So we are combining the research on forestry in mangroves and also the estuarine to see how they interact and how best to actually develop policies that are driven by science back to Nairobi, working backwards all the way to the highlands, because that's where most of the policymakers are. How can we manage these two ecosystems to the benefit of Kenyans? Yesterday, I talked with the communities, and I note that we are too focused on mangroves. You know, there are many ways of conserving an ecosystem. We want to bring up this information that you can conserve mangroves passively by also engaging in livelihood improvement, and we want to work out what other alternative livelihood activities that the communities can undertake as they utilize and conserve the mangroves. And we are talking about high-value agroforestry. The coastal area is very unique. It is very productive. There are so many other tree species or tree crops that can be used. In the meantime, as we focus on developing our mangroves. Number three, what products can we use in the short term and in the long term? And in the whole process, we work towards the data science that will help us. Now, from the ministry, we advise the ministry that if our mangroves are used this way, we can have this ecosystem longer. Also from KEFRI, we know that this ecosystem is unique in its way. It is likely to affect at least almost 20 kilometers from here. So we were looking at integrating the communities, working with the mangrove ecosystem, and working backwards through the coastal ecosystem up to where the influence does not account for much. So for KEFRI, we are here to provide the science. So this center will be a regional hub for information and technology transfer to the various communities.